Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening, but before I get to that, allow me one moment of personal privilege, if you would. I've been doing this for about 20 years, and I have to honestly say, you guys ought to give yourselves a hand. You're one of the best boxing audiences I've ever had the privilege of working for. Give yourselves a hand. I appreciate the enthusiasm tonight. This is the main event of the evening. Joe Garcia, Don Harris, our judges, our referee, Mr. Roger Yanis. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the principals. First of all, in the red corner, he is wearing the black and white trunks. He weighed in at 111.5 pounds last night. He hails from Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico. His professional record, 30 wins, 9 losses, 1 draw, with 15 big knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Arizona, Francisco Montiel. And his opponent in the blue corner really needs no introduction to you boxing fans. He hails from Phoenix, Arizona. He's wearing the white trunks with a red trim. He has a professional record of 37 wins, 2 losses, with 25 big knockouts. He also weighed in at 111.5 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, former world champion himself, Michael Las Manitos de Piedra Carbajal. Referee Roger Yanis with the instructions.
Okay, boxing fans, now we're just about ready to get underway with our main event here on the 8-count boxing hour. You're looking at former world champion, the Little Hands of Stone, Michael Carbajal, as he takes on Francisco Montiel out of Mexico. And Montiel, again, a veteran of over 40 professional fights. 15 of those fights have ended in knockouts in his favor. So Francisco Montiel with a record of 39-1, taking on Michael Carbajal here. Round 1 underway. Dan Sisneros at ringside. You're watching the 8-count boxing hour. Boxing action coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona here. And former light flyweight champion Michael Carbajal in the white trunks with a record of 37-2, 25 of those wins by knockout. And of course the 2 losses coming to his nemesis, his arch rival in the division, and that's from Mexico, Humberto Chiquita Gonzalez. Of course, Gonzalez taking 2 out of the 3 as those 2 fought, and those are the only 2 losses on the record of Michael Carbajal. Carbajal in the white is the silver medalist from the 1988 Olympics. Came up in a very tough fight, losing a decision for that gold medal. He could have very easily won that gold medal. Very close fight. Most people think Carbajal was the winner in that one, but subjective scoring on the part of the Olympic amateur judges, and it went to his opponent. But Carbajal happy to bring home the silver medal to the United States, and of course going on to win that world title, taking on Moonchai Kirikasem. Carbajal in the all-white trunks now. He's a seasoned professional. 39 fights as a pro, and you can see here that he takes his time and gets his fight plan going here. He works behind that jab. A real nice style on the part of the Little Hands of Stone, Michael Carbajal, and he does bring pretty good power for a light flyweight, and I am interested to see if he can bring that power with him as he moves into the flyweight division. That's 112 coming up from 108. And you see Francisco Montiel now boxing, moving on the outside, pretty much moving to his left, I guess trying to, well, he's actually running into the right hand of Carbajal by doing so, but that's the way he's moving here tonight. Oh, and there's a right hand from Carbajal now that turns the head of Montiel, and Montiel tries to come back with some body shots now. We're just underway in round 1, and this bout is scheduled for 10. We're in the flyweight division. Of course, Michael Carbajal has been mentioned often as a possible opponent for New Mexico's Danny Romero, when Romero was the 112-pound champion, and that would have been something to see Carbajal move up and take Romero on for that title. But Danny Romero moving on now to the 115, possibly the 118-pound bantamweight division, so I'd say his chances of fighting Carbajal are long behind him. And Danny will be looking at his opponents in the higher weight divisions as he moves up. Carbajal now very calmly keeping his distance. trying to find the range to get that right hand in, working behind the jab. And you see him now just applying pressure as Montiel moves around the ring. The referee in this one is Roger Yanez. There's the bell to end the first round. Round 2 underway. Dan Sisneros at ringside. You're watching the 8-count boxing hour. Our main event, Michael Carbajal in the all-white trunks taking on Francisco Montiel out of Mexico. Montiel in the black and white trunks with the white fringe. And so far it's been Francisco Montiel just trying to stay out of trouble, dancing, doing a lot of moving on the outside. You see him there with the up on his toes bouncing, while Carbajal is very patiently just kind of cutting the ring off on him and stepping in, trying to get a little bit of distance to launch his shots. And I think Carbajal needs to keep the jab going here as he's got a moving target. And now you see Montiel coming in with that left hand. He tries to shoot the left of the body and come upstairs with a little something at least, you know. Not very offensive here so far, Francisco Montiel out of Mexico. And Montiel with that record of 30 wins, 9 losses, and a draw, 15 of the 30 by knockout. And of course, Michael Carbajal with 25 knockouts in his 37 wins. And he's looking to add another one here as he has moved up into the flyweight division, 112 pounds. Michael Carbajal in search of another world title. Carbajal, who at one time was considered in the top 5 of all pound for pound, anybody's list as far as the best fighter in the world pound for pound, you would see Michael Carbajal on there at all times. But especially after winning against Chiquita Gonzalez in that first one, knocking Chiquita out. But after his 2 losses to Gonzalez, Carbajal's stock has dropped a little bit here, and he's kind of trying to get himself back together. Of course, the loss of his father last year was pretty tough on him, and Michael maybe taking a little bit of time off from serious boxing business. But now he has returned with a vengeance, and he's back, and he's in search of his second world title, this time at 112 pounds, the flyweight division. Now you see Carbajal closing the gap a little bit here, coming in with the right hand. Again, Carbajal with a combination, and Montiel staying in reverse here, backing up and moving side to side. He's not standing still for Carbajal to get to him. Francisco Montiel trying to stay out of trouble here against Michael Carbajal. We're in the second round now. We're scheduled for 10 rounds, and Roger Yanez now offers a little bit of warning to both fighters. I don't know what that was about. Again, Michael Carbajal, very patient. He's been in a lot of ring wars, and he knows what he's doing. He knows that patience will pay off in the long run here. He's very experienced with catching the runners, guys that try to run on him. Of course, Michael Carbajal, a legend. He's the man given credit for opening the door to the flyweight division, that $1 million door, as he became the first $1 million fighter in the flyweight division. And that ends round 2.
Round 3.
Round 3 underway now. Getting right into the action here, Michael Carbajal and Francisco Montiel. You're watching the 8-count boxing hour here on Community Cable Channel 27 in Albuquerque. And Francisco Montiel continuing to follow instructions, staying outside now, dancing. He's not really doing much in the way of scoring, and Michael Carbajal putting the pressure on Montiel. I've got 2 rounds in the book for Michael Carbajal, and right now, if things continue this way, he would be cruising to a decision victory in my book, as Francisco Montiel really hasn't done anything to get to Carbajal here. And of course, Carbajal has that reputation for the knockout punch, so Francisco Montiel being very careful not to get caught with that, as his countryman Humberto Gonzalez did. And of course, Carbajal put him away in their first meeting. Nice crowd here for Michael Carbajal. There was a little bit of concern about the size of the crowd here, but they've got a couple of thousand people here in this facility, and it's just about jam-packed. So Carbajal still has a good following here in the Phoenix area. Oh, there you see Montiel getting a right hand in there. nothing big. Carbajal with a very solid chin. A lot of people talking about a Michael Carbajal, Mark Johnson fight at 112 would be a tremendous fight, and I would really like to see that one. Carbajal, the experienced veteran champion, and of course Mark Johnson, the man who's coming up and who was at one time scheduled to fight Albuquerque's Danny Romero for that 112-pound flyweight championship, but that fight never happened as Romero, claiming he couldn't make weight, moved up to the 115-pound division for his next fight, and he's right now at this time in search of a title at 115 pounds. Of course, that's the home of Albuquerque's other world champion, WBO champion Johnny Tapia. And right now we're getting a little bit offensive here as Carbajal and Montiel kind of heat things up here. There's a body shot now from Carbajal. And now Carbajal's able to fight on the inside with Francisco Montiel. This is what Carbajal's wanted, as Montiel's been running the whole fight. And I think he's just been waiting for an opportunity to get in there and score on Montiel. And if he can get him into a corner, there's a good body shot again from Carbajal, a right hand to the body. And again, you see Carbajal with the jab, and now he comes back with that left, that hook. Montiel drops his hands, but he's not coming anywhere near Michael Carbajal. And Carbajal got him on the counter shot right on the chin here to end the third round. We'll be back. Round 4 underway now. Michael Carbajal and Francisco Montiel scheduled for 10. And Carbajal and Montiel kind of heating things up there at the end of that third round. Michael Carbajal with a good lead in my book here, 3-0. And Francisco Montiel not doing enough to score. He's going to have to get busier if he has any chance of winning this fight. He's not likely to knock Carbajal out, although he does have 15 knockouts in his 30 wins. But Michael Carbajal, there's a right hand from Montiel as Carbajal had Montiel in the corner. So Francisco Montiel now, and a left hand from Carbajal catches him. As Montiel was launching a barrage there, Carbajal countered with a left and got him right on the chin here. And now Montiel's a little bit frozen on the ropes. He's quit running around now. I think he was hurt from that left hand. Carbajal trying to get in there and do some damage on him while he has him. And the two tie up here. Referee Roger Yanez steps in to break them. So Carbajal looking for that finishing shot here. He scored a couple of real nice body shots, and I'm sure he'd like to come over back with that right hand and put his man away here. We're in the 4th round, scheduled for 10. Dan Sisneros at ringside, and you are watching the 8-Count Boxing Hour here on Community Cable Channel 27 in Albuquerque. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's been a good night of boxing. And we're finishing it up here with the world champion, former world champion, that is Michael Carbajal. And there you see him now going to work with that left hand. And Montiel tries to answer back, but no effect at all on Carbajal. Again, Michael Carbajal was a tremendous amateur, going all the way to the Olympics and taking that silver medal. And there you see him now working with the left hand, and Montiel tries to answer back. There's Montiel with a couple of good lefts, and he shakes his head and says, yeah, that was nice, as Carbajal counters on Montiel. Michael Carbajal continuing to put the pressure on his opponent here. Again, now it looks like Carbajal starting to get to Montiel. He's starting to get to him. His shots are kind of wearing his opponent down. You can see a little bit of change, and certainly Montiel doesn't have the bounce and the movement that he had to start this fight. And there's Carbajal just missing with that little left. Carbajal staying on balance. He's not going crazy. He stays on balance. There's a right hand now sneaking in on Montiel, and Montiel backs up again. And Francisco now throwing a combination of the body, and Carbajal answers with a left hand. Michael Carbajal now going to work on Francisco Montiel, and he's got to be thinking, if you'll just stand and fight with me, I'll put you away here. Michael Carbajal in front of his home crowd here in Phoenix, and they want to see something big from their home. There's a good right hand, clips Montiel, and down he goes as a body shot puts him down. And Francisco Montiel goes down. You just had a feeling that he was getting worn down as Carbajal was closing the gap on him. And he's not getting up, and this fight's over. Referee Yanez waves it off. Francisco Montiel unable to continue as Michael Carbajal goes to work, and there you're looking at him. Michael Carbajal back in action again, this time as a flyweight, and fighting a pretty good opponent and putting him away here in the 4th round. So Michael Carbajal just staying patient, trying to track down his running opponent, and finally gets to him. And when he does, man, he put him away nicely. Michael Carbajal looks pretty good here tonight. Trying to work his way back into contention here. Looking at that flyweight division now. Danny Romero has left the division, so here comes Michael Carbajal, hoping to pick up where Romero left off. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here on the 8-Count Boxing Hour. A chance to see former world champion Michael Carbajal in action. One of the world-class fighters in the world of boxing. Very popular here in Phoenix, Arizona. And a good job tonight by Michael Carbajal. Nice work. Let's go up to the ring announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the knockdown occurred just before the end of the round. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell. Therefore, the time, 3 minutes, 8 seconds of the 5th round. The winner by knockout, Michael Las Manitas.